Well, 156 point something kilometres, Toulouse to Toulouse. In a word, David?
Fast.
Very fast. Let's get very rapidly over to Daniel, who's in the mix of it, in the thick of it, I should say, at the finish line.
What a day on the Tour de France. What a day for Norway. The victorious team manager, Tor Hushov's just over there. I was going to talk. We have a quick word for an incredible day for your team. Jonas Abramovic, they call him. Abracadabra. What a day for him.
Yeah, it was. What a day! He was incredible. The whole group of five was. They were pushing some big butts, and did a great ride. And Abra, he broke the collarbone 4 weeks ago today. It's just a miracle that he's actually racing Tour de France and winning now. It's incredible. I'm so proud of him and the team and everyone.
Have you been crying, Tor? You look as though you might have been.
Yeah, it came some tears. I did not cry like that I would like a small little kid, but there came some tears.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice. It's part of it.
And also, how nice to have this huge Norwegian envoy here.
Yeah. I mean, I think over the years we know we are good spectators. We bring our flag. We are proud supporters, not only to the region but to the whole peloton, and we are proud of Tour de France. It's nice to see them here. And I'm sure in the future, with the way we ride as a team unit, we're going to see much more Norwegians.
We'll let you go and celebrate. What's on not so much the menu, but will you be toasting this victory with some kind of Norwegian speciality tonight?
Yes, only a couple of bottles of akevit.
There you go. That was Tor Husov, of course, Tour de France legend, Norwegian Tour de France legend, and celebrating Abrahamsson's incredible stage win today. But what a dramatic day. We have been mainly stationed at the U18 bus after the stage. Of course, everyone waiting to see how is Tadej Pogacar after that crash, that collision actually with an Uno X rider, Tobias Johannesson in the finale, and he seems to be okay. Pavel Sivakov assured us that he's okay. Not only that he might have a little bit more fire in his belly tomorrow. It's going back to Horsekamp, of course, where he was defeated spectacularly by Jonas Vingegaard 2022, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll want to get some kind of revenge tomorrow, but so much to discuss in today's stage. Fred Wright as well, brilliant performance by him. He needs to stop swearing in our interviews though. We had to censor Fred's interview again, but as I said, the day belongs to Norway. I don't know if I'm going to get some kind of Norwegian song, some kind of battle cry. I hope so. So can we sing something for Jonas? Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Well, it took about 100 kilometres before any kind of semblance of order was instilled in that. And you always get stages like this at the Tour de France, but they're not usually that chaotic. I mean, there were times where it was almost impossible to work out what was happening in the race, and the peloton had been literally exploded.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of reasons for it. It's day after rest day, we often see that. Also, it was short, 156 kilometres or 154, which means that the peloton knows they can race flat out for that distance. And it was a slight tailwind as well for the first kind of half. So there was a few combos there, but the thing that really made the difference was that I think on paper, when you looked at the Tour ahead of this, when you looked at the profile, so this could be a bunch sprint. But the final climb with 8Ks to go, I think we're in Toulouse. This is where the finish was today. All the teams were here yesterday on the rest day. They'll have all gone and ridden it. And I think all the sprinters within the team said, there's no way I'm getting over that. And all of a sudden, I think the peloton was aware from the kilometre zero and the chats in the neutral zone that no team was going to control it. And it just unleashed the floodgates. Floodgates were just released, and it was chaos out there.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Because this isn't a stage that any of them really would have been out and reconned before the Tour. So they're working off the kind of open source information that all of us are. And if you just look at it in the road, but you go, Cat 4, that'll be right. Cat 3, it should be. 8 kilometres still to go. But then you look at it in real life, as you did this morning.
Yeah.
Totally changed the way it was raced.
Oh, completely. I mean, it was a wall. You come off a big road, sharp right, and it was 19-20% for 200 metres. And I think even the sprinters, it was quite interesting. None of the sprinters claimed it, put their hand up in their team and said, I can make it.
No.
I think they all just kind of cowered and said, no, not today. But it made for amazing racing.
Yeah.
And the two groups we ended up having off the front were just, it was a incredible battle between them. We said in commentary it was like a team pursuit, 2 team pursuits just out there, but instead of doing 4 kilometres, ending up doing, I think, 55 kilometres chasing each other.
Yeah.
It's just mammoth.
Amazing win from Jonas Abrahamsen. Amazing performance from that front group of 5 who held off the Van der Poel group, which was the kind of like building stone of their victory in the end, wasn't it? But Abrahamsen, popular win really, because he's been knocking on the door of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit surprising actually, in the sense that everyone knows he gets some breaks, everyone knows he's incredibly strong, but it's almost as if he races just to be in the break. And I think today he showed that he's improving and he's getting better. And the ride he did today was exceptional. When you see how hard it was, how fast it was, the riders that were actually trying to hunt him down, Wout van Aert, Mathieu van der Poel, you had Arnaud Delis. It was just a battle royale. So for him to do what he did is, I think there's going to be so much respect for him in the peloton, and everyone's going to be a little bit more hesitant to let him go up the road now. But at the same time, I think it was interesting, the group behind, because Mathieu van der Poel looked like he was pulling a massive bluff, because I think he kept hanging his head when Quinn Simmons attacked. Quinn Simmons raced a little bit oddly again, because it looked like he was all in, then it all fell apart. But Mathieu van der Poel waited and waited and waited. And when he attacked with about 400 metres to go from the top of that final climb, there was 40 seconds between him and the group, the front two, the Abrahamsen and Schmidt, which seemed like a bit of a mission impossible. But he almost did it, which goes to show that actually he was he was flying, and he really was playing everybody.
Was Tobias Johannesson to blame for Tadej Pogacar's crash?
No, I mean it was just one of those situations where they were jumping around left and right, and he got it just at the moment where Tadej Pogacar was just looking the other way, drifting over to the left, and Johannesson came sweeping across to the right, and their wheels crossed.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really.
It is one of those stupid crashes that when it happens, the moment it happens, it's because Tadej Pogacar didn't see him coming.
Yep.
Because obviously he was looking right, going left, Tadej Pogacar, because obviously Tadej Pogacar was looking at the tack that was going on the right, but drifting slightly to the left with his body weight that way, and Johannesson went sprinting right, and Johannesson perhaps should have been a bit more careful, but I don't think anyone's going to go, wow, that was crazy. Because it was just the amount of moves that happen like that in that point of the race, you've got to be so vigilant. Yeah. And so both of them perhaps a little bit just made them boo-boo.
Boo-boo, good word. Yeah. Well, in the end, the right thing was done. I think the respect shown by the GC group is appropriate, and you do see it at the Tour de France. It often happens that everybody just calms down and, hope for Tadej Pogacar's sake that he's not going to suffer too many after effects of that crash. And Ben Healy got through the day and is clearly loving his, and so he should, his sojourn, to use a French word, in yellow, and so's his dog as well. It's been a wonderful 48 hours for Ben Healy, and he'll take that jersey onto the Autocam tomorrow. Let's hear from the Maillot Jaune of the Tour de France.
Ben, congratulations. You keep the jersey, and must have been nice having the whole team riding in front of you as if you were Tadej or Jonas in the closing stages there behind the pink jerseys of Education.
Yeah, just an incredible day in yellow. It's been an absolute whirlwind, and just super happy that I could hold onto it today. And it definitely wasn't without its fight, but I've managed to do it, and thanks to an amazing team today. So just grateful.
And you stayed active as well, because at one point you were on the attack, getting across to a chasing group, and kind of looking like you were up for this. You weren't sort of paralysed by the weight of the yellow jersey.
Yeah, it was so chaotic for the first couple of hours, and I was really just trying to keep the powder dry, but it just went absolutely crazy, and there was an opportunity with Jonas, so why not try and take it?
And one last thing, Tadej then in the closing stages had a little crash, and that kind of neutralised the racing at the front. Was that the right thing to do? Was that not simply a racing incident? In fact, even an incident brought on by the pressure that the Visma Lease bike have been putting on Tadej.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because I think ultimately in a final like that, there really wouldn't have been any time gaps from that point. Then it's really a question of who's gonna take it on to really take advantage of that. And nobody likes to see it. And I think if he's on the other side of the fence, nobody would want that against you. And I think crashing like that, because he looks pretty cut up before there are mountains like this, is going to be enough of a hindrance.
Great stuff from Ben Healy, but this show wouldn't be complete without hearing from the 29-year-old Norwegian who's just bagged the first ever win at the Tour de France for Uno X Mobility, Jonas Abrahamsen.
Trina started sounding more and more Norwegian during that interview. Huh? Yes. Jonas, I guess how much of that stage did you ride yesterday, and did you like what you saw?
Yeah, yesterday I was riding the course, and yeah, I think it was too hard for me. But I know I have to be in the breakaway and go 100% from that. From the beginning, I was the master there in start and was going the first one to going 100% to go in the breakaway. And yes, I have a hope all the time, and it was a pretty special feeling today in the morning. I feel like today maybe I can win. That's not often I have. So I believe in that all the day, and in the end I get victory. So that's incredible.
And you had those 5 guys behind you, and they were, I mean, it was kind of some of the cream of cycling. Mathieu, Wout van Aert, Simmons, who's been looking really strong. What was the feeling in the front group of you, the 5 of you? Were you thinking, we've got to get away? Was it like pure fear of the guys who were chasing you down, or were you that strong?
Yes, I try to be a little bit more cool than I normally do, because I was thinking I have pretty good legs to going solo the last 30k, but I think it was smart to stay in the group as long as possible, and then we were, and there Marius made attack there in the last second last climb, and then it was 2 together, and then I was going steady in the last climb, and then we were working very good together, and we also with 2 very strong or 4 very strong guys today, so. That's also a pretty big reason for I can get the victory.
All right then, time to answer some of your questions that have come in. Again, I'm sight reading these, so we don't know what we're about to have to answer. Mr. Wiggy59, is Ineos a draw for young British cyclists anymore?
I think any World Tour team is, to be honest with you, but it's not perhaps at one time it was for sure, the halo team.
Is it time for Oscar Onley to move on?
No, I think he's doing really well. Why? It's not broke. In fact, it's working really well.
I think so too. If so, where to? So probably nowhere at the moment. Looks like Decathlon are doing a massive upgrade, cycling staff-wise. They are a team in flux, aren't they? Deep, big time. Luke Rowe's gone there as a DS.
They are, and they've got this uber talent in Paul Sextus, this young French rider, and there's been reports that they're upping their budget even further next year. So yes, they're in a big transition at the moment.
Absolutely. Tom Layton says, what's your favourite team kit in this year's peloton?
That's a good question.
I like EFs. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
just
it
do.
is. Yeah,
I think
no,
it's
it
great.
is. Yeah, I think you're right. I go EF as well.
EF, there we go. Alex Alderthy, I may have pronounced that, in fact I've certainly pronounced it wrong, I do apologise. What do you think of team orders? Should the strongest rider win, or the one chosen by the team? Well,
Well, no, because it's always the strongest in the team.
Yeah.
It's very rare that you have a rider.
Yeah.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
It's not like F1 where you're in the same car and kind of making the call. It's the engine is the rider.
Yeah. 2012 Tour de France?
Yeah, but that's a very, very different story.
It is a very different story, probably not one for now. Joe Swed says, what represents a good 2025 Tour de France for Primož Roglic? Just getting to Paris and having a nice dinner.
Yeah, that's it, literally.
Literally all he's interested in at the moment, I think. Clive Smart says, what's the setup for spare bikes on team cars? If a bike is swapped in the race, will it ever get repaired at the side of the road or just fixed after the race?
Yeah, well, if a chain snaps, they'll then put a new chain on. If freewheel goes or, God forbid, batteries fail or something, yeah, they do. They only carry 1 bike per ride, perhaps 2 for leaders. They have a second car as well. But they'll always try and fix a bike that's broken.
Very good. And the final question comes from Mike Lone Rider. My question, Oscar Onley, a genuine revelation. What chance he finishes the tour on the podium at the end? Podium.
Very long shot. But
Yeah.
I mean, to be frank, I wouldn't write it off. But it's a very long shot.
That will be down to Remco Evenepoel's legs. Normally.
Yes, it will. Yeah.
And obviously Oscar Onley's, but not impossible, but as you say, a long shot. All right, let's have a look at tomorrow's course. Up we go into the Pyrenees, David. It's not the hardest of the Pyrenean stages, but it's not a bad hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah, and it's got an interest because it's not a very hard first 100 Ks, which possibly could make for very hard racing, because if a solid group goes in those first 100 Ks and gets, let's say, 5-6 minutes ahead of the Cat 1, there's a chance they can make it. But I think tomorrow we're going to see a big GC day. I think UAE are probably going to put the hammer down and want to go for the stage win and the death blow. But coming up, they've got the Cat sprints, 90 Ks, then they've got the Cat 1 Col du Soulor, which is 12 Ks at 7%, which starts at 122, finishes 134, followed by the Col de Borderes, Cat 2, summiting 145, and then they descend down to the big one, Hautacam, the legendary climb, 13.5 Ks at 8%, and that is going to be perhaps the decider of the Tour de France.
Appointment to view, I would suggest, as indeed is Today at the Tour. Please do subscribe to ITV Sport, and please do also listen to our nightly podcast that we record in the car. We're thrilled to say that Pete Kenyock is joining us again.
Pete Kenyock is back on Never Strays Far.
He's Never Strays Far. So tune into that podcast and subscribe and sign up to the ITV Sport YouTube channel. See you tomorrow.